But when you're doing a bunch, it's a very slow process. And so we've created a system that makes the whole thing a lot faster and then added a lot of enhancements to it to make it actually even broader than just PCC and getting documents into there. So couple things before we start. If you have any questions, just interrupt me. I'm used to being interrupted. It's probably the only way to get my attention because I'll just keep yapping away. And so I want to make sure I get any of your questions answered. If you're, you can either just start talking or throw it in the chat and I'll watch that as well. But our app is web-based. It's built very similar to PCC. So it's web-based. There's no install to it. It is locked out of your facility's IP address. So if you're trying it from outside of the building, it does not work. We do offer remote access for certain individual users if you want, and you pick it user by user. It does require two-form authentication, very similar to PCC. And other than that, there's no install. There's three ways you can get documents into our system. You can just drag and drop them. So if someone emails you something, you can just drag and drop it in here. We also integrate with eFax. The difference with our eFax is that we don't sell eFax numbers. We have a different approach in that if you have an eFax number today with an eFax vendor that's HIPAA compliant, our system will work with it. If it doesn't already have an API connected to that provider, we'll build one out so that you can send and receive faxes directly from here at no cost whatsoever. If you don't have an eFax, we'll give you some great recommendations, but we prefer you guys have that in your possession, those numbers. We all know, right? You give that number out to a hospital, good luck having them change it. And if you lose that number, they don't ever change those things. It's hard. So we prefer you guys have it, but either way, we can work with any HIPAA compliant eFax vendor out there. And then lastly is copiers, and that's where most of our documents come from. Our system will work with any type of copier, scanner, MFP, anything like that. There's multiple ways we set them up. So any device will work. And it's a simple install that we help you with during the beginning process. And there's no cost to the number of copiers you put in our system. It's just a flat rate, which David and Max will go over towards the end. But just know that our vision is that you put this in multiple. Getting documents into PCC is greater than medical records. You can have all the departments helping as well. And so we've built a system that really makes it simple, for greater than just medical records doing it. So I'm going to log in real fast. Oops. For some reason, I cannot talk and log into this thing. I'll talk you through the whole demo and be moving around the system, but I can't put my password in and do it. So I always have to stop that. Okay, so here we go. This is our app. Our app is built around saving time. The heart of everything we build here at Pursue Tech is to save you time so you can get back to caring for your residents. So we make it super fast. It's very efficient. Every step in here has a purpose. And just know that our goal is to make it very simple to use, very simple to train, and just makes your day, less on the computer and gives you more time to care for your residents. So our app is connected to PCC. So through our marketplace, their marketplace APIs, our system will grab all of your residents that you need, active, discharge, new if you're using waiting list or CRM. It'll grab all the categories, everything we need to know to get a document into PCC, we get from PCC. So all you do is get your document into the app and then just tell it which resident these things go to. So I'm going to start with the easiest is just dragging and dropping documents. So let's say I had a bunch, either I scanned them and I forgot to hit the right button on the scanner, or somebody emailed me a bunch. I can just drag and drop them right here to this top right corner. It's going to run a quick virus scan and then it's going to pop them up into this dashboard. If I scan a document, it's going to show up in here automatically. Again, our system will work with any scanner. There's multiple ways we can set them up, so I won't bore you with that part. But just know we haven't found one yet that doesn't work. So any scanner will work. When you scan something, it'll say, scanner here or medical records or whatever you label that scanner. And then also eFax. So here's an eFax that came in, and I'll do that one in a minute, but just know that's how you can tell where these come from. And then all I do when I go in here is I click the document. When I click the document, I'm going to see a picture of the document here. This is just a simple one pager. Let's say it's just going to one resident. I'm trying to get it in the chart. There's 4 things you have to know when you're doing it. What's the effective date, which resident, which category, and what do you want to name it? All right. Those 4 things are over here to the right. By default, we automatically put today's date as the effective date. You could change it if you wanted. These are all my residents here. And again, we pull these from PCC, so you don't update this at all. Within a minute of you putting someone in PCC, we're going to show that in our system. Last name, comma, first name, D for discharge, A for active. If you're doing waiting list or CRM, like I mentioned earlier, you'll have an N. That status is an N status for new, and then your resident ID. So I only have a couple residents in mind, so I could easily click through it. I always tell everybody just start typing and you can search anything you want. Like I just searched the first name, I can search that ID, I can search anything I want in here and it'll find that resident. The third thing you need is your category. And these are the categories that are in the miscellaneous documents in PCC. So if you add them, change them, whatever, it's going to show up in here. The only difference between this and your census data is that this could take 3 or 4 minutes for us to get that change. Don't ask me why. It just kind of is what it is. But when you make a change to it, that category, it'll take about 3 or 4 minutes in here. But let's say this is a progress note. I don't like to scroll down. I'm just going to start typing. There's progress note right there. And I pick it. And then this last one here is what you want to name that document. You can see that our system is going to name it whatever the category is, saving you that time if you name yours that way, which most people do. And then I can add to it if I want. So I can put the date in there or I could put whatever I wanted in there. And then all I do is hit one of these two green buttons. They are both going to upload documents to PCC. The only difference is one's going to upload and take me back to the home page, which is where we started and had the list of all the documents. One's going to upload and just load up the very next document. So when I was in there testing in MedRec, I spent a lot of time in MedRec. A lot of times I just want to go through my documents really fast and then move on to my next task. So I would hit upload and next, and then I can go through them really quickly. For the demos, I usually do upload and homepage so you can see it go all the way back to the beginning every time. But that is all I have to do. That document is now queued up and on its way into the chart in PCC. It'll be in that chart within 60 seconds. The reason we say 60 seconds is we send them every minute on the minute, and it can take up to 60 seconds for PCC to receive that and send it. Let me show you what it looks like though in real time. I kind of went slow because I was talking you through it, but I would see the document. I'm going to go down. I'm going to pick my resident. I'm going to scroll down, or I'm going to type. I'm going to put that, and then I hit upload. That's all I do, and that document will be in that chart in 60 seconds, right? Saving you all the time of having to save the file, rename it, go find the resident in PCC. I don't even go into PCC in here. Now, I'm going kind of quick, so if there's any questions, feel free to interrupt me. That works really good if you're doing one document to one chart, right? But the reality is, like, especially when you connect facts in here, I would have this happen to me all the time. You get a new admission, hospital faxed over. They seem like they would fax over 100 pages at one time, and it's everything put together. And you're like, oh my goodness, I got to break these all and separate them out. It's a pain in the butt if you're using like Adobe or some PDF program, and it takes a long time. Or a doctor faxed over all their notes, and it's for multiple residents, and you have to break them apart. Okay. So let's pretend this top one here, this 24 pager, is one of those two scenarios. Okay. So I click it, I see 24 pages, and they say, you know what, I got to break this up, whether it's to different residents or maybe the same resident, different categories, whatever the deal is. Instead of using this window here, I'm going to go up to the top where the scissor is. I hit that scissor and I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit. I see my document, I can scroll through it, and I just start breaking the document up like this. Like there's my resident. I'm going to say that's her chart, right? Pages 1 through 4. And then I'm going to pick either a different resident or I could pick the same one. I'm just going to pick different ones so you can see. And I'm just breaking this thing up going like this, 5 through 8. And I just keep breaking it up into pieces. Now, again, I can use the same resident. You can do whatever you want in here. Sometimes I would use the same resident, same category. I just wanted them separated. Maybe there were progress notes put together or something. Sometimes, that happens. And so whatever you put in here, it's going to do. I can overlap pages. So if I want to send one document to multiple people, I could do that as well. I also don't have to use all my pages. So this is a 24 pager. Let's say I don't want the last page because it was blank. I can stop at 23. Maybe I don't want the first page because it was a cover page. Maybe I do. It's just up to you. And then I hit split. And it took that one PDF, broke it into 4 pieces, and sent 4 documents over to PCC. And 4 of those will be in that chart within 60 seconds. Okay, so that scissor tool was a huge time saver, especially when you're getting eFax turned on. Or ultimately, when I started using it, I just started scanning big groups of paper because it's faster. There was always a line at our copier, and so it was just faster for me to put everything on the glass and then go back to my desk. So that was a really big one. Couple other things that if you're uploading a lot of documents, this will make a lot of sense to you. Uh, when you upload a document into PCC, there's a maximum file size you can put into the chart, and it's different. I've learned that it's some customers are 5 MB and some are 25 and somewhere along those lines. So for this example, let's pretend your maximum is 10 megabytes, right? And you have a PDF that's 15 megabytes. When you go through the process of doing it today and you find the resident and you go into the miscellaneous documents and you click the tab and you upload it and you name it, and you do all this stuff and it takes forever. When you hit that last button to upload, it's going to pop up and it's going to say, "Hey, Colin, your maximum is 10 megabytes. You're trying to upload 15. Please break that into 2 files and try again." And it just would drive me nuts because it waits till that last minute to tell you, right? It's like, I could have told me that 5 minutes ago. Our system won't do that. What it's going to do is, let's pretend this is that same 15 megabyte file. When I hit the green button, it's just going to accept it. It's not even going to tell you it's too large. What it will do though is when it tries to send it, it's going to say, "Oh, it's too big," and it's going to do something like this. Part 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, whatever it needs to break it into, it'll do it automatically in the background and then send it through to PCC. You never have to worry about file size anymore. I've seen them hundreds of megabytes getting broken up into many, many pieces. I think the largest one I saw was 60. It was either 86 or 68. I can't remember. It was one of those two, but it was a humongous file. And it was a company that brought on that was all paper, and they just scanned thousands of pages at one time and then pushed it through because they were trying to get all their docs in there. And so it doesn't matter how big that is. That would have probably taken them a week manually. And so this system just did it in seconds. And so it's a really great feature. Couple other things it's going to do. A lot of times your scanners, when you scan a two-sided document, maybe it's only one-sided, but the scanner thinks it's two. We're going to delete blank document pages in there to make it even faster for you so you don't have to. It'll never delete something that has anything on it. It has to be completely blank, so you never want to lose anything. So if it's completely blank, it will do it. And it'll do some other things, like it's going to try and compress the file a little bit. It's never going to change the quality, but it'll do certain things like that to make it fit in the system. Does all of that in the background so you don't have to worry about it. All you do is hit your resident, pick your category, and hit upload, and that's it. Okay, so that's how you get documents into the system. Let's talk about faxing. Okay, so faxing is a big feature in here. And again, we don't charge for the faxing part. If you don't have an e-fax number now, David and Max will give you some great recommendations. We don't sell them. We want you guys to own that number. It's very important. But our system will work with any HIPAA compliant company, and it's going to send and receive right into our app. So let's say in this example, I need to fax this document out. And this is a note the doctor's office calls and they say, "Hey, Colin, can you fax that to me?" And then I want to put it in the chart. So once it's in our system here, I can click this eFax tab right here. And that top number is my number. I'm going to put in the number it's going to. Your version has an address book right here, so you can save numbers, which is a big time saver, right? So you don't have to type it in every time. And I'm going to fax it to myself so you'll see it come through. I can save a cover page. So there it is. I'm going to say, "Dr. Smith, your notes. Here are your notes." Oops, goodness. I can tell it to email me if there's a problem, or I like it. I like to get an email no matter what, because I like to know that fax went through. And then I can either send eFax and delete the document or send eFax and send to PCC. So I'm going to do that. Now that fax is getting queued up to go out, and then I can pick my resident, pick my category, and hit upload. So in those couple of seconds, I just sent a fax out, or one is going out, and then that document is on its way to PCC. I never had to print it. I never had to do anything. I never scan it, nothing like that. So the eFax part is really nice. I can click right here and I'll see the status of all my faxes. This is the one we just sent, and it's getting queued up to go out. And then when I get a fax, right, here's one that came in. I know right away, oh, that's a fax. Okay, great. That's from Dr. Jones. I know that's for Victoria Howard here, and I know that's her pulmonary, consult. And then boom, there it goes. And that document is in the chart. So the eFax is a really, really strong feature in the app to get in there. And then one of the other things too is, you see I have 23 documents in here. As I push them to PCC, they fall off this list. So let's say I pick Karina Bailey and I upload this document. Now I only have 22. So ideally, this is just documents that need to get sent to PCC. And once you do, your dashboard will be empty. So it keeps it very, very simple. Let me walk through some of the top things here. We do track everything that's done in the app. So Let's say you want to look and see, hey, what was scanned today? You can go into residence and by date, I can see everything that was scanned today, right? That's a huge time saver because if you're trying to reconcile everything done today, try doing that in PCC today. You can't. You have to go chart by chart. It's a real slow process. So I can either click by date. I can see everything that was done. Now I'm going to see everything that was done by everybody in my building, not just me. So if I have two people on the med rec team, I'm going to see what both of us did, which makes it even easier. I can also go by resident, and I don't have any actives in my system, so I'm going to do discharge. We're never going to delete that transaction log. So look at this. When I go into Karina Bailey, these two blank ones here are because they're ones I just did, and it's going to erase them in a minute because I'm in a demo. But you can look in here, and this was done several years ago. Our system will keep that transaction log forever. So if you're ever trying to reconcile, hey, who uploaded what, when, and you can really quickly do it in here. One thing we do though is that when that document makes it into PCC into the chart, we remove the PDF itself from our system. So there's no transaction of the PDF, but the log will be there forever. Right? We're all in this business. Nobody wants your data out there any longer. It needs to be. So our stuff is we're all SOC 2 and it's all compliant, but it's just you just don't need it. So once it makes it to the chart, we delete it from our system, but that log will stay forever. There's one exception. Okay. This doesn't happen much anymore. PCC is really good these days, but let's say they're having trouble. There's an outage, whatever, maybe something crazy happens. We will not delete that document until we get confirmation it's in the chart. So this happens a lot. I have a lot of customers who they use this system 24/7. They're using it, middle of the night and stuff. I have a couple customers who scan everything at their buildings, and then they have teams in like the Philippines who are doing the uploading part. And so the time it's running 24/7. So a lot of times on a Saturday at 2 a.m. when PCC is doing their maintenance, they're still uploading documents. That's the common thing we see. Well, what's really great about our system is you can keep using it even during that. If PCC is not available, you just keep using our system. As soon as they come up, all those pending documents flow right through. Most people don't even know there was an outage when they're using the app. So it's a really great way to do that. And then as soon as they come back on, all the documents go right through. Again, it's very rare they go down. I just see the maintenance windows of a few minutes a weekend, and that's about it. So that's under residence. Under eFax, here is that fax log. Our fax that we sent already went through. It'll be in my dashboard here. There it is right there. And I can click it and go through it. Corporate, this is going to be only for certain users, right? So if you're a corporate user, you can give this access to somebody where they can see multiple buildings. They can look at analytics for that building. How much are they using it? What categories are they using? Who's using it? All those fun things. You can set up the IP addresses to lock down the system, and the users and all that fun stuff get done from in there. If you are not a corporate user, you just won't even see the button. You might see the settings button, and they're very similar. Corporate is how you manage multiple buildings. Settings is how you just manage your own. We keep it very simple. There's only two kinds of users. There's a user and an admin user. A user will see these things where they can change their password and their name and watch some training videos. An admin user is going to see all of these where they can change the company name and some other settings. Most of the time, what I see from organizations that have multiple locations, they have a couple corporate users and just regular users, and they don't even show people this part because it's all done centrally. So you can do that as well, and we can help you with all that. I'm not going to click password, right? You're going to change your password in there, but this is what I love under training here. Um, if you go into training, so we're in a turnover, like there's high turnover in our environments, right? It just is what it is, unfortunately. And so what we do is, let's say you have a med rec and they go LOA, or you have a new one come in for whatever reason. You can just set up that person and then go under training videos. And then when you go in here, you're going to have videos right here that show everything about the system, and they can quickly learn how to use it. But what I like to tell people is that's great. I don't like videos. I like someone to show me how to do it. So you can click schedule free training. They pick a day, they pick a time. Training is always free. They're going to get on a Zoom or Teams just like we're doing now, and they're going to get one-on-one training with someone on our team. It is always free. What I see that getting used for a lot is most people, when they buy the system, say, oh, this is going to be fantastic for medical records. And then after a few weeks, they start going, oh, you know what? Admissions, you should start using the system to upload your documents, and business office and rehab gym. And it becomes this bigger thing than med rec. And so you can just schedule them to get training. Again, our system is really simple. It really You can train someone in 15 minutes, but a lot of times you just can click that and we can train for you if you want. Again, it's totally free. Along those lines is the support. And I like this just having been in technology for so long. When you need support, you need it right now, right? Especially for our clinicians. I don't got time to wait for a ticket and all this stuff. So what you do is you go in here and you click chat. Now we're Pacific time zone. So from 8 to 5 Pacific time zone, we're obviously before that here. This is going to pop up and you can chat with someone in real time. We have a full team. They'll answer your chats. They'll help you with whatever. It's customizable. So if your company policy is, hey, we don't want to use that, we just turn it off, but we'll provide whatever support you want. And it's customized to how you want to do it. What I mean is you might say, hey, Colin, I don't mind you guys resetting passwords, but I don't want you creating accounts. And we'll just go through this setup with you and however you want us to help or not at all. That's how we help you. So it's a great way to get that instant support. A lot of times companies just want us to redirect it, but it's nice to have a live person tell them that. So we'll do that as well for you. Two other features I want to show, and one of them I'm going to show you, one of them I'm going to tell you about because I don't have it up yet in the system. But just like we're scanning to PCC, right? We are building out, and it's being tested right now, this HRIS tab right here. So you can scan and upload to a resident in PCC. We're actually testing it with some of our customers to scan and upload to your HRIS system. So your Kronos, your ADP, UKG, you can actually upload into that as well. So example, like a lot of our nursing homes that we partner with have their payroll using it as they're testing this for us, and they're uploading nurse certifications into employee charts. They're uploading or employee files. They're uploading onboarding information for new employees. And this works with UKG, ADP, and Kronos today. We're going to circle back and add a bunch more later. But in the very same way we're doing that with residents, we're doing it with your HRIS system as well. You'll get more information on that in a little bit, but just know that we're thinking this is much greater than point click care. And so that's coming out. And then the other one, and I can send you a video of it, but we are working right now and it's in beta with some of our users. They're testing a DocuSign integration. So a lot of customers that are PCC customers use the document manager in PCC, and it's a great system. We love it. We actually helped them build it years and years ago. What we're finding is just there's some really great ones out there, right? Everybody knows how to use DocuSign. Everybody knows how to use Sign now. They use it when they go buy a car or whatever. And so it just becomes this platform that everybody's used to. And so a lot of nursing homes now are migrating to that for their admissions. Anything they want e-sign. We have an integration with DocuSign where, again, I can send you a video of it, but there's a DocuSign button here. You click it, it shows all your forms and all your residents. You put the two together, it pre-fills the form, sends it out using the DocuSign engine to get signed and e-signed and all that stuff. And then once that's done, it actually comes right back in here automatically for upload into your chart. So you don't have to save the PDF, upload, you don't have to do anything like that. It's automatically integrated in that. Currently, we're testing that in DocuSign and they're finishing up Sign now. So there's multiple vendors you can use for e-sign as well. And I'll send David that video and Max and they can send it off to you.
So Colin,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to hear that one more time because that was one of my questions. So you're saying that in lieu of using Document Manager, you could utilize your system and say DocuSign and get the same effects?
Yeah, exactly. We love PCC. We're never gonna say anything bad about it. I think Document Manager is great. I just Sign Now and DocuSign are so simple. And honestly, they're a bit cheaper, right? And so if you have a big number of buildings, it's a huge savings. And we went through that as well. So our partner owns a bunch of buildings and we went through that whole same thing. And what you do is you create your DocuSign account, right? You don't do it through us. You own that account. You create your forms in there. And again, I'll send you a video of it. And as you create that, inside of here, there's a DocuSign button and there's just all your forms right here and your residence right here. And you click a form, you click a resident, it pre-fills it, and then it sends it to DocuSign. DocuSign will do all the e-sign stuff. You can go through and put the names in and all that stuff of who it's going to. And then once that document is completed, so signed, however many people you're having sign it, it'll flow right back into our app right here. It'll say DocuSign here, and it'll automatically be in our system so that you can push it into the chart. You can also do it so based on the document type, we can actually bypass our system and put it right into the chart. So you don't even have to see it in our app. So there's a multiple ways you can do it. And again, I'll have that video sent out for you, but it integrates with DocuSign and Sign Now just like that. We are fine in the final stages of testing out with some of our larger customers. They're just there's a trend right now. Everybody's either moving or have moved to some of those things, and so that was something we put in, very similar to like the HRIS concept, right? The scanning is bigger than just PCC, and there's other things we needed to do. And so we integrate with all that. And all those add-ons are just free. We don't charge for those things. So that's something that we're finalizing. I would imagine 30, maybe 60 days max. That'll be out there for most people to use.
Can you use it with
That
Simpler?
say that one more time.
Can you use it with Simpler?
I haven't put that, or we haven't put that in yet, but if that's
Okay.
something you guys want. So what we do with ours is we build the back end part of it. So we built DocuSign, and then we just pull our customers and say, which ones do you want next? And whatever ones are next, that's what we build. And that's how we do it. So right now it's DocuSign, Sign Now, and those are done. If that's one that you guys are using, we would just start building it on. We have a pretty large API team, and they just build these things all day between the Chronos, ADP, the eFax, all of those things. They're just building those connections all day. So
Okay, thanks.
yeah, of course. And then lastly, and then I'll turn it back over to David and Max. This is one thing I love. How many locations do you guys have?
So we have 23 skilled buildings, and then we've got about 125 assisted living.
Okay. One of the things we do that makes it really fun, and it started out kind of corny, but actually turned out to be really fun. Every month we send you guys a number of how many scans were done per building and by each user. And what we do is we have a giveaway every month for your company only. So we break this out. It's separate by each corporation. So we're going to send you a list, and whoever is the facility with the most scans, we send them out a Starbucks card and say, congratulations, you won this month. And we do that once a month for each build, for the building, and then once a week per user. And so there's 5 winners every month. And I know it sounds kind of funny, but I'll tell you what, that has made the integration and the use of this thing go through the roof. And my busiest day on emails is the first and second days of the month where everybody says that I win. And so it's something we just do automatically. It really makes it fun. We love, we only work in post acute. We all come from buildings. And so we want to make it fun for everybody. It's just something we do. What we do, the reason we give it to you first is because we want to partner with you guys to get that information out. Some of our customers do it themselves, and they do it because they have a really great way of getting that out to their facilities and their users. Some have us do it because they just don't have the time or whatever it may be. But just we partner with you to get that out. And what's cool is it's only your buildings. You're not competing with our other customers. So it makes it a lot of fun. Also, if you have a couple buildings that are maybe they're bigger, so they're always going to scan more, you can pick the winner. So we give you the list of the top couple, and sometimes some customers do it like by census, some do it just by sheer number. So it does make it a lot of fun. And again, it is the most competitive thing out there. I get a lot of people asking about it, but it really makes it great if you're trying to get all your documents in. It really has made a big difference. So I always like to end on that fun one, and just know it's something we do for all of our larger customers. But and then I'll just pass it back to David and Max, and they can wrap us up for it.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for jumping on. We'll get you some more information. You don't feel like you have to write this down. We'll follow up with an email that's going to have the recording attached. You can share it with other members of your team as well. But just briefly to touch on pricing for you, it is a tiered pricing structure for us. So 1 to 2 facilities is $149 per month. That's unlimited users, unlimited scanners. It's just a flat rate subscription. 3 to 49 facilities drops down to $129 per month. And then if you're 50 plus facilities, it's $99 per month. Our contract is just month to month, so we don't tie you down to anything long term. And then I'll share that contract and the next steps for marketplace activation as well. And what we like to do a lot of times is just set up a 30-day free trial for a couple of facilities so you guys can get some real-time feedback from your team and just kind of get in a building and understand how it works. And like I said, just get some feedback from your team. But like I said, we'll share an email that kind of highlights all those details and gets you guys a recording so you have everything in front of you and can make a sound decision. But if there's anything that pops up in the next couple of days, if there's a question that you have for us, after reviewing the video or just kind of coming off of this demo, we're happy to answer those for you. So we'll stay tight to you in the next, couple weeks or so, and hopefully, like I said, just get you guys into a trial to get you some eyes on it and see how you guys like it.
Great. Well, thank you guys. This is pretty exciting. And sorry that the first several minutes I think I had my speaker muted, so I couldn't hear anything that was going on. I'm glad I finally came over to see what was happening because I was just working away in email. So sorry about that. Gosh. But yeah, that's great, and I love the culture that you've created with the Starbucks and the competition. That's super fun, and yeah, just we've been texting back and forth. This is pretty exciting. So Max, I'm glad that your dad said, "Hey, contact this lady," because this is neat stuff. So I appreciate it very much, the demo, and look forward to sharing it with the rest of the team.
Totally. Thank you guys for jumping on, and nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Early morning, guys. Thanks.
Of course.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the day.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.